Welcome!
Alright, good. Now it's my turn.
So!
Okay, now it's your turn again.
Fuck!
Use your iPod.
Fuck! Oh. This one. Ooh, good picture. I'm gonna keep that photo.
Alright, now do that.
Jojo! Parts! 3!
Good. What fell? What fell?
Oh, the water bottle. First impression! It begins where they're in the Atlantic Ocean.
And these two guys, I'm like, no.
No, it's three guys. It was three guys in the. It was three guys. Remember?
Yes, it starts with these three muscular guys opening the case. They're like,
I'm like, wait, what? Don't. It says D-I. Oh, and it says Dio. Yes,
you doomed us all. I know it's not their fault, but I'm like, fuck, we're all.
They didn't know. They thought it was a big ass treasure. But I'm like, if you see a person's name, don't open the casket.
Especially not a chest.
Especially a chest.
That looks like a coffin.
Clearly, it skips over it and goes to Jotaro where he's in prison.
And he's like,
he was one motherfucking badass.
Yes.
That was the best opening I ever saw
for a show.
For a show.
Yeah, and especially the scenes where they're walking in the prison, it looked pretty good. The animation,
yeah.
Not great, but good.
It shows Jotaro's mom and two cops when they're walking down. How they explained how where Jotaro was and what he done, and it was really well animated. Kind of like when they walk past by.
They showed
three. It's like three.
It felt like a fucking movie camera.
Feel like a movie, but really good though. I really love that.
And not just that. In the first episode, they get a lot of shit done. They explain somewhat what stands are. They explain the lineage of Joseph Joestar and
their descendants, pretty much.
And they explain Dio to Jotaro all in the first episode. It was pretty fast paced.
Really fast paced, but really good at understanding. I mean, it's not. At least it's not like the first part of JoJo where it's all slow. I mean,
and aren't you forgetting someone?
Caesar.
No, you dumbass, Adval.
Oh, Adval.
They even introduced him in the first episode, and he's a pretty interesting character. I'm like, how can you forget?
Oh, well, I thought you were gonna name it, but oh well. But yeah, Adval is an Egyptian guy who's friends with Joseph for 3 years. He met him last 3 years.
And he's a pretty interesting character too. So
I like his stand with
Red Magician,
and it's like a falcon. It's really badass. Like all flames and shit is really good.
And the part where they animates his stand fight against Jotaro's stand, Red Magician versus Jotaro's stand, it was fucking greatly animated too.
I know.
Multiple camera angles. It was pretty fluid in that scene.
Especially how the fight animation we get between the stands.
Oh yeah, especially when
really
Jotaro gets pwned like towards the wall. It was pretty cool.
The funniest part where the prisoner's like, "Oh my god, run away!"
Oh yeah, the episode also had humor.
It actually had a lot of humor. It was really good.
It even had a reference to Shonen Jump because in one of the parts Jotaro's wearing Shonen Jump, I'm like,
he was reading the manga and he was laying down.
Product placement. Pretty good product placement.
And he uses a stand to grab his stuff for him. It was really cool.
But yeah, this episode was cool. It introduced Dio.
In the last part where it shows Dio showed a woman got...
So there's already build up towards the next episode. I mean, this episode was great. You had great build up. Good
humor,
visuals.
good animation.
Soundtrack was good.
Oh yeah, that was. I loved it overall.
It was great. It was great
overall. I recommend watching it.
Actually, in some scenes the animation was weak, but it doesn't matter. Like the content
it doesn't really matter. I mean, you have
it a little bit. It lowers the score a little bit, but
yeah, but overall, I still give it a 9. I mean,
9 out of 10.
I really highly recommend you guys to watch this. Really,
and you can watch it on Crunchyroll.
It's on Crunchyroll. The best part is that Crunchyroll.
And for those of you who haven't watched part 1. Watch it on Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll is gonna put the episodes.
Part 1 and part 2, and then
part 2. Part 2 is gonna come out next week, though.
Oh yeah, part 2 is coming out next week, but all of it's gonna come so that way you can catch up and watch part 3, episode 1. It is really amazing, and I highly recommend watching that.
So, anyways, guys.
We would like to thank you so much for watching our first impression. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it.
And rate, comment,
subscribe, and see you guys next week.